29,640. Patrick Tete, 92. Fumi Philibert, 29,433. Golo Kofi, 61. Mustafa Rashid, 80. So by the power invested in me as return officer from Samuel Virgin constituency, I do hereby declare Frank and not on prayer as NPP.
So what am I not don't pray, and I just say, once you are pagan and sa for the new patriotic party now, by almost well, now you say now it's clear and evidence no like I said, so is blue. Is blue. That is say NPP RNA after the Re-Collated across for no nyina to mo ase aken kan kakabia bomni ade na no na ati say the Electoral Commission the name senior war is 123 etimi agina aye constitution na amambra ni tumi ayi sidi ama no na otimi declare aye not don press or retaining the seat. Abusia na wonim sense some goes wo this election and you some get to especially the MPs no MPs no ebia tie hwa baba nyasa ko bi adwane bi oyam ni ade eno na bi bo che se ebi de besua ade especially NDP MPs ni bi e de besua ade because ade was how mo ani da woni ade na je se o tra de a 6 better than 9 no bi e na akoso na the Electoral Commission Ghana Police Service agencies they are performing well our mo hwe se Re-Collated betimi awie successful ama bibia timi akoso na abusia ano don pray declare ni wie ye no nsafo from no ye nto so na nim se nya ono ko 9 constituencies na NPP de ye te pay ye tax ni ade no they are winning they are winning power so far 4 seat and 5 seat are who for now no NPP are winning more than 3 na just say omoko mani mapa na yanko sefu from na sana no mamo official pa na me no ase Femi Robert yanko sefu from na yenhwe de Re-Collated no se de AC aircraft
peja na mampanyi ene emrahye bedwafo na abato mpeso ahodo bia so no isi ema electoral officers ano mo ye returning officers to me say omo kenka aba ni wi a ompeja do bedim kunim ne sa wo ho prekokra ansa na aba eye national eti omo enya sa akonya no ye didi ma ni abo wedi we na wini ye bebi wo ha na tension wo ho kakra eti atwintwan so ebi wo ha ye se recounting ye ka aba no foforo bio ehun sem bebre na abato ahodo be ye enkron de isi ekire se kwaya mo fa so declare no na eye illegal na se omanfa kwampa so bi wo ha mo se party ekitafo no ekoto ehye electoral officers no bi eso bebi ukura wo ha omodom sake kan mo ebi nso wo ha figures no yebobo de hye omano na ye se yebo hye wano anu waka ai ye hye omo ebi nkura wo ha ye se ye de se tuo ne se so se de che se ensem de hunwunan eti na abato mpeso ahodo no bi wo ho a wo se ye to no foforo na se omo san eye Re-Collated yan to foforo de mom ye no Re-Collated na se ye san keka ni nyina bomu bio na ye hodo yi odi nkunim e omu abato ahodo ni bi eye Okaiko Central Ablekuma North ahafo ano Southwest in Sauma Dojiri Techiman South na se dospa enkron na tie da bebo mu ne se okọ oboasi East na no so ka ho a sesia owura Patrick Bwachi Yadom a wogire mu edema New Patriotic Party NPP osoko kwama ekono na sesia de womo eye coalition foforo no wadi nkunim enti enye NDC ni na di nkunim bi womo ye coalition foforo no or the 19 votes enti we ne be fe no MP19 or the 19 votes na edi nkunim ewo abato no emu na Greater Accra Electoral Commission womo office wo ho nya seketwa kohwe ho we tuma we na we atoma we tuma we na we atoma we na yera aye Bwachi Yadom aha honie Greater Accra Regional Office at the ma EC adwumeko no honie coalition koso enya senketo akra Setama Central so ka ho ai ibi bright ho no enya senketo na no ewia we anopa no ibi bright ni nya bidig o se won pene kra na enti oko Facebook no so aba won say Greater Accra aha ebi ni o Greater Accra Regional office no eho gidigidi pa ebi bright net ho no menim say we no voice was ya yentie kakra NPP amayeko na ne yasa pagya ne sase ono wodi nkunim a wodi 19 votes pe na di nkunim awo ho no wodi nsem kakra to dwa kire se saja se ya maye ni na ho amaye coalition fufura ka manfo de akontomu afa ye ti kodi wura enum na meno ka sei nsam adwegire so de na nam kwan so a eba ababedu ai eni breaking edem na so wodi antie Patrick Boachi Yadom de ni wi ba nsam adwegire no to aso.
After the collation on the 8th of this month, louder. We were forced to declare the results, and so the results were declared under arrest. And after meeting the committee and the consideration, we have come out with the correct results, and these are the results of the parliamentary results. There were 4 candidates, or there are 3 candidates. The candidate number 1 is Patrick Boachi Yadom. Number 2 is Samuel Abuaji. And then independent candidate, Ajay also a free. Louder. These are the results.
Please, that Abuaji and Samuel, what party?
Patrick Boachi Yadom is NPP. Samuel Abuaji, NDC. And then Ajay also a free independent candidate. These are the results. Patrick got 18,000. Patrick Boachi Yadom got 18,558. Samuel Abuaji got 18,539. And Ajay Usofri 424. On that note, Boachi Yadom got the highest figures or highest marks. So I have the honor of which party to declare Patrick Boachi Yadom as the parliamentary candidate, member of parliament elect. If you consider the results, I have the honor to declare Patrick Boachi Yadom of NPP as the member of parliament elect for Obuasi East. Thank you.
Now somebody sent me a text. Let's have the people there again, the team in the oral. That text, I mean, it's going out on social media, and they said, I'll read it to you in a minute. Give me the list of the Ablakwas committee. Yeah, thank you. So the person said, it's here. And he said that, please, I've seen this on social media, but I still want you to read it on Good Evening Ghana. It has been used by some stations already. He said, okay, it's an NPP thing. They talk about, I say, okay, let's go through the leaders of the committee. Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, the same man who was prosecuted by Martin Amidu for Isofoten corruption for $1 million, the chairman of the committee. That's what he says. Then he comes to, he continues with Martin Pegbu. He says, Martin Pegbu, Paul, you yourself have said on TV and quoted the High Court ruling where Martin Pegbu was found for stealing somebody's book, Intellectual Property. That's what it says about Martin Pegbu. Then he says, Raymond Archer, the man who bought state land at trade fair for 100 cedis. 100 cedis? And put his private company on it and was making business. Oh, I know that story. I interviewed Raymond on Good Evening Ghana. Did he buy it for 100 cedis? I don't know what arrangement he had, but yes, he had his company at trade fair. Magdan and the trade fair people went to break it. He came on Good Evening Ghana. We had an interview. But the person says, a man who bought government land for well, it says government land, his company was there, but I don't think that he bought it for 100 cedis. I don't know. Okay. And then he goes on to say, Kofi Boachi, Paul, again, were you not one of the journalists who covered the Georgiana Wood committee where Kofi Boachi was questioned for his alleged involvement in drug dealing, and following that the police service actually suspended him and changed his position from director of operations to head of education? the Little Education Unit near the license office. That's where his office was. And he was suspended for 1 year before he came back to that one. I covered the Georgina Wood. Yeah, it's true. I covered the Georgina Wood. Some of you are young, you don't know, but there was a Georgina Wood committee set up in 2007 or 6, I think, about this MV Benjamin cocaine scandal. I mean, in those days, I used to talk to Raymond Archer quite a bit because he knew about the scandal. I used to talk to him quite a bit about that. Okay, so, and then who else? He said, finally, Domlevo, who had a moral deficiency for accepting an appointment from a president who had lost election, and then proceeded to forge his age, and was exited from the government by being alleged to have forged his age. Are these the people who are going to follow corruption and chase it for President Mahama? God help Ghana, he says. I'm not sure whether all of those things are correct. But anyway, so that's the conversation. So this committee don't have legal legitimacy. They don't. So they are going to, if I know of corruption, I call one of them, Kofi Boachi, whom I know. Whose number do I have here? I think it's only Kofi Boachi. Maybe Raymond Archer, yeah. So I called them. And I said, I want to come before your committee. I go, I said, hey, good morning. How are you? Please, my name is Paul Adumonti. I know that the former minister of this, he has a house at Adenta. And when you go into that house, I went for a party there. He has a swimming pool behind the house. And under the swimming pool, he has money there. You have to go and collect it. I don't know where he got the money from, but I'm sure that he has stolen it. I'm sure it's. So you have to go and collect it. Then they'll write it down. They write the name of the person and then that's it. Then I leave. Then they'll ask me that what is the basis? Do you have this? I come. I said that I know somebody who works at ECG. And he told me that when they were importing the meters, the board chairman, he brought his own company. It is for him. And that company is the one that imported. Hey, what's the name of the company? The name of the company is Nyamele Woke Enterprise. Okay, good. Nyamele Woke Enterprise. Who is the owner? It's for the board chairman of ECG. He's the one who owns that company. I know, pa. Do you know how I know? Because his driver came there and I took the checkbook and I looked and his name was in it. The Nyamele Woke Enterprise, his name was there. It's for the board chairman. Okay, they collect the information. Then another person comes says this. So President Mahama is saying that they are going to collect all that information. They will gather it as evidence and then hand it over to IYOKO, a special prosecutor, the Attorney General's department. All of those are legitimate state institutions that can then go to Registrar General. In fact, this committee cannot write to Registrar General. They don't have a locus to write anything to Registrar. They can't write to anybody. They can't write to GRA. They can't do anything. So when President Mahama is inaugurated, as he says, this committee will now gather the evidence. Now, this is how serious it is. If President Mahama becomes, when President Mahama becomes president on 7 January, and he wants to set up a committee like this, under the Constitution, the President of Ghana is allowed to set up commissions of inquiry and committees of inquiry. That process goes through Parliament. So the President will write to Parliament and say that I'm setting up a commission of inquiry. I like it to go through Parliament. I'm setting up the commission for this purpose. There will be a set terms of reference. There will be everything in there. It's not a wide set of reference that if you know that somebody has stolen, come and tell us. No. When it goes to Parliament, they will have a terms of reference. And then the President will make proposal of the names of people who should go on that committee. Any Ghanaian can challenge any of those names. So when the President is in opposition, he can just set up this, is fine. But when he becomes president, he can't set up committee of inquiry, commission of inquiry without the laid down due process. Now, what's a commission of inquiry? That's what they set up. I also was Wogon. You remember that? The one who went to Emil Short and some people, set up by the president through Parliament, approved by Parliament. The other one, National Truth and Reconciliation Committee, set up by Kufuor way back. Some of you may be too young to remember. It went through Parliament. So presidents of Ghana, their role is outlined in the 1992 Constitution. When they want to set up a committee or a commission of inquiry, and lawyers know that there's a difference between a committee of inquiry and a commission of inquiry, go and watch B.A.J. Darocha, he will tell you. There's a major world of difference between commission of inquiry and committee of inquiry. It came up in the 1969 Constitution and all of that. So lawyers know that. So presidents cannot just set up committee. Now, when he sets up the committee, pursuant to the provisions on the laid down rules, any Ghanaian can say, but Mr. President, if you are setting up a committee for corruption, why is this man on it? And that challenge to that committee of inquiry would be entertained because he's Ghanaian. And the president, in setting up a commission of inquiry, is doing that in exercise of the powers conferred on him by the Constitution, which powers are conferred on him by the social contract, which powers are conferred on him by the citizens of Ghana through the ballot box. Therefore, He cannot set up a committee outside the laid down rules of procedure. He would have to do that. This committee can be set up anyhow he wants. But once he's president and he says, I want to set up a committee of inquiry, commission of inquiry, he has to do it according to the rules. And Ghanaians can challenge the people that he puts on it. Because he's setting up the committee pursuant to an authority that is drawn from the ballot box, from the will of the people of Ghana. I think we are done on that. For North South, they are looking for it. Ahafano North, they are looking for it. Obuasi East, they are looking for it. Bono East region, Techiman South, they are looking for it. Eastern region, Isawam Aduajiri, they are looking for it. Now, these are the constituencies that the Electoral Commission says they are not conclusive to be able to discuss the parliamentary issue. Now, the issue here is this. The NDC are saying that in 2020's elections, the Electoral Commission told them that once a declaration has been made about the winner, you have to go to court. So the Electoral Commission, the NDC is reminding the Electoral Commission that this is what you said. You said that once a declaration has been made, you go to court. Okay, what's the difference now? Now, Gina Dukwe-Mensah is saying that even though declarations were made on the occasion for these 9 constituencies, those declarations have been made invalid or have been invalidated by reason of the duress under which these declarations were made. In the circumstances, one cannot say that the Electoral Commission has declared these results and therefore the next line of action is court. I didn't see Abu Jinapo sit in here. Can somebody, can you check about Damongo? What's the status of Damongo right now? Is it declared for the NDC or is it declared for the NPP? I'm expecting that it's declared for Samuel Abu Jinapo. Congratulations to him. Okay, so Samuel Abu Jinapo confirmed. It's been declared in favor of Samuel Abu Jinapo for the Damongo seat. So that's an NPP seat. All right. So Electoral Commissioner is saying that in these 9 constituencies, I have not declared. I have declared, but I'm withdrawing my declaration so that I can count it well. In the circumstance, it doesn't show up as one that has been declared. I think that's the contention now. NDC says you have declared, so the next action is court. Electoral Commission says I have declared, but I am withdrawing my declaration. In fact, I have withdrawn my declaration. I want to do a recollation to be sure that the decision of the people, the desires of the people have been correctly counted. The desires of the people as expressed in the ballot box has been correctly accounted for. That's what the Electoral Commission wants to do. That the desire of the people expressed through the ballot box has been correctly accounted for. Now, this is the Electoral Commission's position. NDC says no. This afternoon, Gina Dukwe-Mensah mounted the podium to have a press conference. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission found it necessary to have a press conference on this matter because it's very, very important. These are some of the things she said.
And the political parties were notified accordingly. In spite of police presence at our regional offices, the collation process was once again disrupted and taken over by political party leaders and supporters, and the results declared for both constituencies without due process being followed. In the case of Okaigwe Central, a winner was declared without collating results from 31 polling stations. In the case of the Ablekuma North constituency, a winner was declared without collating results from 62 polling stations. This is unacceptable. It is important to note that the declarations made by our staff were made under threat, and the Commission considers this as illegal. Those declarations, as well as others that have gone on in other constituencies, will not be upheld by the Commission. Dear citizens, it is for this reason that the Commission met with the Ghana Police Service once again to re-examine the nature of the security arrangements being provided by the police. The Commission was desirous to protect its staff as well as its electoral collation